Hi all, welcome to my channel. This is Staying Forever Young and my name is Amila. I'm trying to get this shot with you see the almost full moon in the background? So on this episode, I want to talk about past lives, right? Which I don't believe that it happened in the past. I believe all the lives are taking place together concurrently at the same time, right? But because people or the collective know of it as past lives, I want to talk about past lives. So here's a story. I'm going to start off with this story, right? I have a twin sister. Her name is Amina, right? And it's so funny because we used to tease her and call her Amina Muhammad, even though that's not her last name. We used to say that. So a couple of years ago, she had this very intense and vivid dream that she was a queen and her father needed her to go fight a war. And in this war, she turned out to be this extreme, badass warrior woman, female. And she said she was just slaying and killing, taking all these men out. Like she was that triumphant queen. And she had all her boys that rode with her. But the wars that she fought, she said that she was just like really good at it. And when she woke up, she was like, was that a dream or was that real? But she said it was so intense to actually be in the enthrall of it all, like actually slaying. Now, I'm not saying it's a good thing to be taking people out, but to be in war, to be in battle, and to like be untouchable, she didn't know if that was like a dream or did she watch something before she went to sleep or was it a past life, right? And so I remember her telling me about the dream. I want to say she told her ex about the dream. A couple of weeks later, I don't know how and why her ex was doing research. He found Queen Amina Muhammad. I think they call her Queen Amina of Zazzau or something like that. She was Nigerian and she reigned as a warrior queen from, you guys can look this up, it's history, from 1556 or either 1557 to 1560 or 1561. Now, okay, if that, you can just, okay, say that's coincidence. But here's the kicker. When you pull up the picture of Queen Amina or Queen Amina Muhammad of 1557, she looks just like my twin sister Amina. So how much of a coincidence can that be? Her name is Amina. We used to call her Amina Muhammad because my dad was Muslim, okay? Number one, well, that's number two. And then she looks just like Amina. So when you hear people say that reality is stranger than fiction, it's true. If you ever believe that there was things that you knew were true, but you could not explain it because this reality or this world told you that it was not, that's not true. Whatever you believe to be true in your heart, it is. If you think creatures like unicorns and cyclops and things of that really did exist or really do exist, they do. It's just because this part of reality have hid you from that. And I'm not saying that that will always be the case. That information and those types of creatures may eventually be exposed within this lifetime, but those things are true. That's why it's very important for you to form your own connection with the source of all that exists so you can understand your special connection and pull your information from source instead of having an outside source tell you what's true and what to believe in. Okay? So I started that story to tell you this story. Now, I have been working for this particular company for about 4 going on 5 years. Reverse. For about 4 going on 5 months now, right? And I had no idea why my spirit team wanted me to work at this particular company. When I said why? But I was forced. I shouldn't say forced, right? Because we all have a choice. I could have been like, no, I'm not doing that. But I do know that when I am guided by my spirit team, there is a reason behind all that is being done or that's being revealed. I want to keep the full moon in this. So I applied, and at the beginning, it was exciting, but I never saw myself back into the corporate professional world, but I did it. And as time went on, like after about 2 months in, I'm like, universe, source, spirit team, guides, everyone, why am I here? Like, I don't want to be here. I don't understand it. So I was in my feelings about it. Just recently, I began to understand what the journey was about. Sometimes you got to take the journey, just like, in The Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy had to take that journey down the yellow brick road in order for her to understand everything that she needed to learn in order for her to get home, only for her to realize that she always had the power all along, right? So that's where I'm at today. And I want to share with you guys that, so I had this particular male that works at this particular corporation that I'm at. It's just kept being on my mind for some reason. And when it's a male-female situation, if it was a female that was on my mind like that, I believe I would have said, okay, there's something more to this, and I need to take a deep dive to understand what's going on. But me being human in this reality, I thought that he liked me. I don't know. I didn't know. And I thought that maybe there was something there. But every time I looked, not that it was nothing wrong with him, but every time I looked at him, I was like, no, I don't see it. But there's a connection there, and I don't know what it is. And it got to the point that it was so intense. I was thinking about this person night and day. In addition to, I had to see this person at work. Mind you, keep in mind that this person was in a form of authority over me. So I'm like, why? Why is this person on my mind? There's nothing there between us. I went into meditation. And when I went into meditation, I went into the records. Some people call it the Akashic records. I don't like to put title on things, but if you had to, just so you can understand, I would say I went into my Akashic records, right? And when I went into those records, I went in with the intent to understand what was the connection between me and this person. And to make a long story short, this man was actually my wife in a past life. I was a man, he was a woman. We very desperately, we were in love. We loved each other and we wanted a child together. And for some reason, Source did not want us to have a child. And there was a bigger reason behind it, but because we were human, right? When you're human, there's some things that you just don't understand when you're picking it up from your human mind. And so we went against the wishes of what Source wanted or did not want for us, and we attempted to have this baby. And in our attempt, we lost the baby. And me being a man, I mean, I'm a woman in this lifetime, so I can understand what it is to carry a child and lose a child because I've experienced that before. But in that particular life, I was a man, and of course it hurt, and I understood that him, which was my wife in that lifetime, was going through, it hurt her more than it hurt me. And I eventually healed from it and I moved forward. Well, he or she in that lifetime did not. And because she did not heal from it, it took a toll on her. When I say it took a toll on her, it wrapped around her heart this dark energy. So the life of our child that we created together, because I moved on and healed from it, that part of our child, that light stayed with me and moved on with me, but the part of the child split into a dual form. So the darkness from the loss stayed with my wife in that lifetime, and it wrapped around her heart and it stayed with her. So now in this lifetime, I'm a woman and he's a man, and we came together not to be together, but that's the connection that I was feeling. But he was having some problems with his heart in this lifetime, and he didn't tell anybody. And I found all this out after. So while I was in the records, I have the ability to go in and use a certain type of light to clear out that energy, right? Because everything is energy, and I know how to use that light to clear. So I removed that darkness from his heart, and then I filled it with light so he can now move on and have and experience the love that he deserved in this lifetime. And when I did that, oh my God, that released the heaviness and the burden of him being on my mind, because it was not about did I like him or did he like me? It was because he needed me to clear that. The last 3 days have blown me away. First, after it happened, I didn't say anything to him because my life and what I do in the spiritual, I wouldn't say the spiritual closet, but I don't bring that to the professional corporate world that I work in. At least they don't know that I bring that. I'm always clearing energy for them. They just don't know. He walked up to me today and, well, he said, Mila, the strangest thing happened to me. I had this pain in my heart and I didn't know if I was dying. And so I don't want to say what he did, but make a long story short, today he told me that it's been days and he hasn't had that pain in his heart, and he's so happy and he don't know how it cleared up all of a sudden. And I was like, really? Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. And it was such a revelation for me to know that the energy clearing that I did, he accepted. And he said, do you understand that ever since that, the last 3 days, I've had so many of my ex or people that I wanted to be in a relationship with and it just did not work. They all are coming out of the woodworks. And I said, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. I'm saying all that to say is, when I cleared the energy from his heart, I didn't know if he was going to accept it or if it was going to take, and it did, and now he can move forward. And I know this was a long, this is a long story, but I wanted to tell you guys to let you know that We are multi-dimensional people, beings, and we have a multitude of lifetimes. If there is something in your life that you know is an imbalance, that you know is just not quite right, and you can't put your finger on it, chances are there are lifetimes that traumas, hurt, or things have taken place that was not healed and was not balanced in those lives, and it's affecting you in this life. And I would suggest you to reach out to someone that can go into those lifetimes for you and clear that. If not, you're just going to drag them on into all the other preceding lifetimes and dimensions with you. So I hope, if nothing else, if there is somebody out there that know that there is something from some past lives or concurrent lives that are taking place that you need to have cleared up, and you just really needed the confirmation that those things exist and it can be cleared, I'm here to tell you, okay? So I have made this video longer than I wanted it to be, and I'm not gonna give you guys a third past life because it is definitely with a animal that a pet, a family pet, and I'll save that for another day, okay? Because we did just lose him. We love him dearly, but I will save that for a later day. But just know that the records of your life really does exist, and things that you may relate to as fiction is, I can guarantee you that it is reality. So in the meantime, stay whole, stay divine, and stay in awareness that there's more to you than just this character in this reality. You are a fractal of characters and light from the direct source of which all things come from. I'll talk to you guys next week on Staying Forever Young Naturally. Mwah. Love you. Bye.